Korean reality shows have been all the rage lately, and as I've said multiple times before in these reviews, it's a smart move from Netflix's part to double down on these. They're relatively cheap to make, they don't need $100 million plus budget to produce, and the actors you bring in are far cheaper than massive stars demanding extravagant fees. However, there's also the matter of tone and style too. Reality shows generally tend to be quite hit or miss on this front, with over-the-top shenanigans and manufactured drama needing to hit just right. There's enough drama to warrant tuning in, but not so much that it becomes farcical. Zombieverse has been touted from Netflix themselves as a big hit, and last year's Zombie Bash is back and badder than ever. Although your interpretation of badder will determine how you feel about this follow-up. A lot of the issues with season 1 are accentuated here rather than ironed out, and the main plot line, while engaging, has some problems with structure and tone that are hard to ignore. For those who need a reminder, season 1 ended with the antagonist from the series, Hong Chul, alive and kicking but wandering about as a zombie. Meanwhile, Suki and Dindin managed to find themselves on the wrong boat, and that's where we begin season 2. The setting starts on the sunny tranquility of Jeju Island before returning to the mainland and proceeding through a variety of different dangerous areas. There's a lot of variation to the settings this time around, and what begins on that aforementioned resort soon moves through a beach clubhouse complete with a DJ and swimming pool, a subway station and a fast moving train, to name a few. The show has definitely gone all out here to try and make itself as aesthetically diverse as possible, but it also doubles down on the worst parts of season 1. Now, the biggest issue with Zombieverse has always been the humour. When used correctly, humour can work well to offset suspense and tension. Used incorrectly, however, and it can undermine the stakes being built. Marvel, for example, get this wildly wrong all the time by throwing jokes in moments that should be racked with tension. Zombieverse though goes one step further, and the slapstick is so over the top and wild that it makes the show feel farcical and devoid of stakes. Look, I know this is a reality show and it's just giving the fans what they want, but seeing a character brutally infected, only to then be writhing around with a serpent tongue and doing jumping jacks, feels disingenuous to what should be a more emotional moment. It's been a while since I watched season 1, but I honestly think the humour here has been doubled down on. There's a scene where we see raving zombies at the aforementioned beach house, and another where the gang navigate a maze of zombies by using a barrel and attempting a makeshift curling incident. I'm not completely devoid of emotion though, as some of the humour does work surprisingly well. A big montage is followed by a hilarious cop-out at a bridge, which genuinely had me laughing out loud. There are other segments like this sprinkled throughout, but honestly it does feel a bit overpowering at times. For a show like this, you need a tight script and to keep things moving at a good pace. Instead, a lot of the episodes are quite slow, with lots of talking, planning and thinking broken up with little bouts of action, which are still wrought with comedy of course. The show is in desperate need of more frantic editing, especially as it still includes the usual reality show hallmarks that made season 1 so distinct. Freeze frames, slow-mo replays and visual effects are all thrown in here, along with little video game-esque arrows and markers to show how the gang need to navigate through the areas. The returning cast mesh well with the newcomers, although given all of these guys are entertainers, there's the constant feel of everyone trying to stand out from the pack, usually resulting in bouts of overacting. This does lead to some pretty wild moments, and there are some chances for the guys to shine through a couple of well worked twists too, which I'm not about to spoil here. And on a side note, when we mention the characters, I'm not quite sure why they always seem to think putting a sheet over a zombie is a good idea, but this is something that's used constantly throughout this season, and it kind of loses its effect towards the end of the show. But with all things considered, if you enjoyed season 1, you're bound to like what Netflix have cooked up with this follow-up. It's far from perfect and has a myriad of issues with its logic, plot and tone, but at the same time follows the same silly, bonkers style that made season 1 such a hit on Netflix. Depending on how you felt about season 1, this is unlikely to sway your opinion one way or the other. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.